Well, hello and welcome to all of our Gold viewers here today. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome to everyone joining us here today. And I am very excited to be sitting down with my new friend and colleague here, Linus Muvhu. And welcome, Linus. It's so good to have you here at Gold Birth and Beyond.
Welcome, Fiona.
So, Linus, we have been chatting now for a few weeks, and we're excited that you're coming to our conference here at Gold. And of course, you will be presenting at our Gold Birth and Beyond Conference 2020. I know you're going to be live here with us on Tuesday, October 20th. Now, of course, everybody remember, please go to the website and check it out at goldbirthandbeyond.com to register for this event. You can also check out all the time zones that you're going to be in as well. Linus, of course, you're not in the same time zone as myself, but perhaps you would like to introduce yourself and tell everybody who is watching today where you are in the world and what you're doing there.
Okay, thank you so much, Fiona, for giving me this. This is a great opportunity. I am Linos Muvhu from Zimbabwe, working with an organization called Society for Pre and Postnatal Services.
And Linus, tell me about the organization and what it does in your community.
Society for Pre and Postnatal Services was established in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And it got its full registration in 2015 as a private voluntary organization.
Okay.
And Society for Pre and Postnatal Services becomes one of the fortunate organizations in Zimbabwe by signing a memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Zimbabwe, represented by the Ministry of Health and Child Care.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the nature of the services that the organization wants to offer to the general population of Zimbabwe, thus to promote and to prevent and to provide ongoing supportive family therapy and counseling and the psychological support services to the reproductive age group and the entire community. These services, the government, they find out that there is great need to promote mental health, to provide ongoing supportive family therapy to the entire community and the reproductive age group. So they reached us to sign a memorandum of understanding. So those are the good news.
That's very, very good news. Now,
Yes.
I heard you mention that this is a private organization. Is that correct?
Yes.
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 Yeah, so it's privately funded. I mean, I know that you do some fundraising, but how do you get your resources and your financials in order?
Yeah, for now, I want to be very honest. We are using one of the key resources, which is the human resource, whereby we are pulled together, people with great passion to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that there is a sound mental health within our communities.
Right.
So yes, so that's one resource that made spans grow to the point where it is right now. It
Right.
is because of the passion that resource of passion from the human capital. Of course, when I'm saying it's a private voluntary, in Zimbabwe, these organizations that are remitted or they are exempted from tax, they are registered through the Ministry of Labor and Social Services. So we got some, PVO numbers. That's the private voluntary. So by saying it's a private voluntary, it means it's exempted from tax. So it reaches out to different donors, being
Right.
individual, being international organizations, for
Mm-hmm.
funding, for support, for collaboration, to make sure that we push our services, to make sure that everyone within the community gets our services, which are at the highest, at the greatest need, in the communities that we serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
That's
sure.
that's really wonderful. I remember our first conversation. I was, I honestly I was blown away because I thought to myself, how, the concept that you are. Well, first of all, let me just back up because you
Yes,
actually go out into the community. You take your your employees, your trainees, you put them in the community, and they
yes,
reach folks. So you actually are mobile at some points as well, correct? So you go into the community, and
yes,
then you do counseling there. Where really a lot of the problems start is when people do not want to come to us. They need
yes,
you need to go to them, right?
yes,
And
yes.
what a beautiful concept. So when this was all being planned and talked about, how did you bring people together to sort of say, okay, how can we reach them? What were the conversations like when you were sort of starting out, and how do they continue? What do you talk about in, to reach people where they need?
Okay, Fiona, as I mentioned, that we are so privileged. We are already using the already existing system that was being placed by the Ministry of Health and Child Care.
Right.
So, yes, as an organization based on science, we know science is now very clear that, mental health can start, from, during the first environment, which is the
Hmm.
utero, or the second environment where, the child is now outside, is now interacting with the environment.
Right.
So what we do is, that's why we say as an organization, we want to prevent mental health disorders. We want
Hmm.
to prevent, we want to promote, a good, sound mental health. And we
Right.
realize that, with the backing of science now, which is very clear, which is very honest, to say now children can get, mental health disorders
Hmm.
during the first environment, which is the utero. So what we do
Right.
as an organization, we are placed at a local clinic.
Hmm.
So during the antenatal and the postnatal care, we see the women. We open, the what we call mental health education or mental health literacy, where we educate now the communities, where
Hmm.
we educate women now, eh,
Hmm.
eh, about, how to protect their mental health,
Hmm.
how to respond, how to, how best they can, manage, how they can best they can cope. But
Hmm.
as an organization, I want to be very honest, we might be very unique in other organizations in the sense that we are not looking at these women in isolation. We are taking a family approach. And as an
Right.
organization, yes, we are not the expert in addressing, mental health issues for the women, but we are saying we are there to facilitate. We are there to play a role of facilitation, whereby we are using the competence, the skills, the knowledge which these women they have, to make sure that they then be able to address their own issues that they affect
Right.
them. So we don't put the dependent syndrome. So this is one of, such very unique, a concept that this project of Society for Pre and Postnatal Service is bringing to the world. And imagine, like right now, we had also realized that dysfunctional families, they are not just started, they come, because there's a lack of parenthood preparation. So at the end of the day, it's now an on-job training, whereby, people they get into marriage, from their family of origin to, to
Hmm.
the family of choice, without proper, a guidance, proper training to be a parent. So,
Hmm.
this is one of, that's why we are saying we are here with this a new project. I know it attracted a lot of interest within the world. We are in working collaboration with, yeah, I know, Ellie Taylor. Ellie Taylor is one
Yes.
of our core, co collaborator in
Sure.
coming up with this, holistic approach. She believes in promoting parenthood. So
Hmm.
we join together people with the same passion to make sure that we sensitize the world, the need now for preparing parents so that we don't have the dysfunctional families. I personally know that when we talk of a family, we are talking of peace, harmony, people who are able to cope, enjoyment. That's what we know a family. But when those things, they lack within the family, we are saying now we have got the dysfunctional family. That's why we are saying let's prepare the parents so that we have the parents that are able to give back to the parents, to the children, so that we have a better family, we have a better society, we have a better nation. So this is how rich our program is.
Well, I mean, it's expansive at best. I mean, but I think the simplicity of meeting people where they're at, giving them an opportunity to talk about what their needs are, helping them understand what might be happening to them as they go through these transitions, these life
Yes,
cycles,
yes,
is
yes,
so valuable. And I
yes,
love it that I know you're working with Ellie, who's going to be with us as well here at the Gold Birth and
yes,
Beyond conference. And I was talking with another one of your colleagues, who I know you've spoken with before, Daniel Singley. He's also going to be here
yes, yes,
as
yeah,
well
sure, sure, sure,
at Gold
yeah.
Birth and Beyond. It sounds like we're going to have a fabulous team of people here at Gold Birth and Beyond, including you. So it's just going to be fantastic. Okay, before I
Yes.
let you go today, I know we were talking recently, and you mentioned to me that you were speaking with the World Health Organization. What is happening there? And tell me what's in the works, Linus. What's happening?
Yeah, to be honest, mental health uh, within the world, it is not yet to get the recognition that it deserves.
Right.
I'm glad to share that this is recently that the Zimbabwe won what they call the WHO initiative support, where WHO is now, so Zimbabwe was being recognized as one of the countries that can receive that support. So as an
Hmm.
organization, I think we have been identified during their, initial assessment to say, no, in Zimbabwe, there's one of the organizations that is doing very well in terms of
Right.
promotion, raising awareness, and so we are leading innovation in that area. So we've been recognized to be part of the processes to come up with a document that is going to be implemented in Zimbabwe in promoting sound mental health for the general population.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, I was
Yes,
very excited to hear, just the fact that the awareness is expanding, the
yes,
recognition is happening, because the more conversation we have, the better the outcomes. That's just
yes,
the reality, and we know that you're going to be here promoting and showing your organization and how it came about and the importance of what happens in mental health in the family. And so I'm excited to hear what the audience has to say and what they can share about their different communities and what they're doing in their communities. And perhaps we can all learn together how to do better for our families when we all come together at the conference.
sure,
Yeah,
sure,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, thank you
yes,
so
yes,
much, Linus, for joining me here today. And I will look forward to having you live at the conference. And so, just a quick reminder for everybody, go to the website right now, goldbirthandbeyond.com, where you will find all the latest information about this conference. You can register for the event right now. Check out all the live links of who's going to be here for live events, including Linus. You'll be able to come and sit down with him and ask questions about his organization and what's happening globally around the world, so that we can all make a difference together. Thank you once again to Linus for joining us here today. And of course, to all of you, our listening audience. Bye bye for now, everyone.
bye bye.